everyone. So yesterday in my art journal I had done this spread, in outer space with planets or moons, these circle shapes, and I really liked it, but I wanted to try to iterate on it a little more and see what comes out. So the way I had done this background is I used this golden SoFlat matte acrylics in the ultramarine blue, and then after that dried, I put a bunch of Liquitex ink layers, and I really loved how that came out. I loved the planets. The only thing is, as I was doing it, I would have loved, for instance, for this to more easily, these streams of sparkly colors to go behind the planets, and it's a little fiddly for me. And so the thing I want to do this time is do this on a different piece of paper. This is palette knife with a bunch of colors. Cut out circles instead of drawing them here and having to paint around them, and then glue them down later. So that's what I'm hoping to do today. So the first thing we need to do, and one of the things I've been doing with this journal is I go every other page and then glue them together, and that's just because I kind of got sick of other pages. You know, you see how the color here comes over. I was doing it, and I was tired of that happening to finished pieces. So what is this? This helps protect it a little better, particularly over here. You can see like those pages go for a while. And then the other thing I need sometimes, I have one just to start off with. I don't know if this will be big enough. We'll try. I can kind of clip it down a little bit. So this is Liquitex Basics acrylic gesso, just in white. Just put it right on the page. This helps protect, it helps it so the paint doesn't sink right into the paper. It's a little easier. And I actually use this catalyst wedge to help smooth this out. I've done in the past, and lots of people recommend, like, even stuff like hotel key cards or old credit cards, just anything nice and flat. And I've definitely also just used a brush for this part in the past too. Big thing I've been doing lately in the journals is trying to be pretty loose, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just, you know, a little insurance. And then the extra I've just been swatching off on an extra piece of paper like that. Alright, so I'm gonna put this to the side for a moment just to dry, and I'm gonna use these papers to do the thing that I will make the moons or planets out of. And these actually come from this Processes of Constitutional Decision Making book. I had found this on the side of the road. You can see it's not in great shape, where I used to live in the rain. So I have absolutely no issues or concerns using this for art. It still feels a little weird to me, but I'm getting over it of using ripping pages out of books. But these get out of get less useful pretty quickly as the Supreme Court or other courts make decisions. And obviously this one was ruined by being out in the rain. So all I do is put globs of paint down, and then I use the palette knife just wherever the paint wants to go, the paint will go. Sorry for the fast frame, but yeah. One thing I had considered for this part was to put clear gesso down, but this particular book doesn't seem to really need it. I use it a lot for gel printing, and I've never really felt like the paint was overly sinking in to the paper, that it needed that layer. It wasn't doing anything too weird, and it really holds up quite well. And these just happen to be the colors. These are the Arteza acrylic colors. This one's sky blue that I'm using. I know there's a lot of recommendations to just pick a few colors, and I do have better quality in other tubes elsewhere. But this set was great in terms of me just being able to experiment with different opacities and different colors to see what it is that I like. It's great it can be really good for gel printing. So this is a Carmine red. And I really like the texture that the palette knife gives. And then the last one that I don't know if it'll be the last, but the last color is I was using Titan Buff in the golden fluid acrylics. Been trying to get better about changing up direction and stuff as I'm doing this. But yeah, and then one more. These don't have to be completely covered in paint. It's really up to personal preference. And what I might do here is I think this one could use a little bit more blue. There. All right, I'll put these off to the side to dry now. Let's see where we're at here. Yep, and so little bits in there that are still a little wet because they're thicker. That's fine, just this. All right. So the next thing to work on, let's see if this will sit a little easier now. Yep. Just make sure they're not sticking. Cool. So next thing to work on is getting the base layer of ultramarine blue down. And this is again that SoFlat Ultramarine by Golden. And this I just get a little water on my brush and just do this. And it's okay that some of the white's coming up. What I can even do now is just use a palette knife to put some on. And that way I'm not getting the gesso into the container. You can see how this was kind of fun, challenging to do around the circles in the first one, because obviously I couldn't just do long strokes like this. I would have to make my way around the circles. I'm not being gentle. All right, let's get a little more on here, on this side. It'll be interesting to see because when I did the first one, I did it in between stuff, so there was lots of time for the gesso to completely dry. It'll be interesting to see how the variations in the background also impact the ink layer. I'm a software engineer by profession. I didn't actually get a CS degree. I learned a lot of it on the job, and I did take a few CS classes though, so I get a lot of the basics. But one of the big things that I do is a lot of iterative design. So I do a little bit of code, try to get one thing working, or take code someone else has done, and then just make small tweaks and changes and see if I like what we get from it. And so it's no surprise that I do that in my art journal as well as I play with paints and stuff. recently had found this tip online. Oh, that's doing something a little different than I expected. Still cool. It's a way to blend stuff out a little bit. Which I think will be good for the not have quite so many straight lines in the back. And this is just a makeup brush that I actually got from the Dollar Tree. Let's see. And then let's get the rest of this on. Alright, so there's that layer. Rinse my brush off. Oh, yeah, I should put a little more up there. Alright. Let's give this a few minutes to dry. Let's see if we can work on the next layer on our planet pages. It's still pretty wet. Let's see how this one's looking. So I have Arteza Pearl Deep Brown, and then I have Pearl Copper Gold. So I'm gonna work with them and maybe some of the other colors that I didn't use yet. So I also have a Mars Orange as well that I haven't used. And then I have two different stencils. I don't remember who made them, but this is a kind of a circuity one, and then I was using the triangles on the other one. So let's see what we can do here. And then these are just little plates I got actually from a kitchen store right here. And then this is just a makeup sponge. Just dab it through. I want to use this one here. You can see that one got a little run over, but it just produces these cool lines and other shapes. Just want to go around the page. We're not trying to do a perfect stencil, we're just trying to add interest to the planets. And this ends up being a little nod to what pays the bills for me. And I can do this up here. here. Let's do some triangles. I think I might take some of this Mars orange now. Maybe right here. That one over here for a moment, and we'll do the same here. Let's do some more of that circuits. Actually, let's switch over to the gold copper. Let these dry for a bit. And then bring this back. So the next thing I did here on this page is I did a next layer of the acrylic inks. So this one's Liquitex Turquoise Deep. And I just put it right on the page. And then I took this brush, Royal Language Zen, and I just move the inks around. That's funny that it definitely has got some of my fingerprints going on there. And then let's do some green. And what I did yesterday too with this is you can even do some of that blending here. It's not working quite yet. I think I have to have the other colors in. Let's do some of this. This is a Daler and Ronnie Indigo. And then this is also Daler and Ronnie Process Magenta. I just make my way around the page with the colors. And do some more on this side. Throw this deep again. Here. Tell my brush is getting a little thirsty because it's separating. Let's get some of the green in. want it to quite just all end at the crease part here. So let's see. If I can. Bring it over like that. A little more here. There we go. Alright, let's let that sit for a few. Actually, yeah, let's let it sit for a few.